now naita halane talewa. Halalewa no ina kanoe. No ya no ine ya li ane hoyo ta hitimai. Hitimai no awake. Lifu no me te aloha. Aloha aloha everyone. People of this part of the island, when we gather here, and I'll get involved. I told myself I wasn't going to ever get involved again, but I'm going to get involved because I truly believe in this spot, in what Maka wants to do. And as I look into the faces of all of you, such beauty, such goodness. I asked, dear Father, that this sweet child, your punahele, the choice of your heart, Maka, will now end the prayer.
Well, I do want to say mahalo to all of you for being here. And I'm so grateful. It's the spirit that unites us and brings us into this space together. And many of you that have been following the music know the message of huli that I've been given. It's not my message, I'm just the messenger. And so huli means to change direction. And this is how we're going to do that. This is how we're going to huli the canoe. Not like this in the water, but changing direction. And so the huli truly believes in, starts in the aina of our hearts. And I just want to encourage every single one of you to know your kulana, your role, because we all have one. How are you serving this aina? So many of us, we take from this aina and from this community, but how are we serving one another and this aina? And so our kuleana, our responsibility is our kulana, and you all have a place. It's not about who's better, who's less, who's more. It's not about rank. Kulana is doing your part. And so I just want to encourage all of you. That's why you're here. You wanna fill that role. And when everybody is in their place and in their kulana, then and only then can we imua and move forward in this huli, in this time of revolution, in this time of turning. And I just want to say mahalo, mahalo keakua, the one that gives life to all of us and gathers us here today. And the beautiful thing about these events that we put on is it's by the community, for the community. Everything that you see here, the food that we're going to partake of, has all been provided by you, and we get to share. And so truly, we do not have to sell out our keiki, our aina, our culture, our morals, our values. Ai and aina, not for sale. What's real, who's real? I not for sale. No deal, tell them no deal. All of my kupuna appeal, kanaka maui appeal. Tell them I not for sale. Take some time out today to hike deep back in the valley. Listen what the aina say. It says we're not for sale, we're in Hawaii. Take some time out today to pray and stay in the moment. Recognize that real opponent. Realize who you are, where you're from, and own it. Cause aina not for sale. Tell me what's real, who's real? I not for sale. No deal, tell them no deal. All of my kupuna appeal, kanaka maui appeal. Tell them I not for sale. Tell them no deal.
Islands not for sale, Keauhou not for sale. Prices on a paradise and hike up on our trails. La Aina not for sale, Aina not for sale. Maka, Ibua, get a right to us today. Alae, 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 alae. So thank you, thank you. Alae, 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 alae. So thank you, thank you. Alae, 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 alae. So thank you. Mahalo nui loa. What's real? What's real? Who's real? I not for sale. No deal, tell them no deal. All of my kupuna appeal. Kanaka mauri appeal. Tell them I not for sale. Tell them no deal. To the beautiful Ohana stewarding this aina right here, Taimi and Honu. They're gonna share a few words and a couple tracks with us, and really looking forward to that. Yes, sir.
Let me turn on that mic, sis. And that one is on too. Both of those are on.
Aloha. Aloha. Mahalo. Thank you guys for coming out. I just want to say a few words before we start. First off, I believe with my whole heart the message that Maka shares with everybody. I think it's really important to just reinforce that this huli will only start and continue and go into perpetuity if it starts from inside of our hearts. Me and my partner for a very long time have been, active in all the different realms politically, through community and activism, frontline, protesting and frontline non-direct action, protesting, nonviolent direct action. And when it comes down to it, it's going to be lifestyle and the way that we're living each day that's going to make a true difference. So with that being said, hopefully Honu can come and
love you guys. Kuakuai Market every Friday. We're over here trading, reading up on the vibes, downloading on the, the energies. We live in Hawaii. Greatest time to be alive. Right now, you're in Hawaii for a very specific reason. Remember Maka said kulana, right? Each one of you guys have a different ingredients, right, to this beautiful mixing pot in Hawaii at this very specific time. But you got to know your authenticity. You got to know your traumas. You got to clean that stuff up, right? The soul, right, and all that stuff. And yeah, elevate yourself. Eat the good food, friends, family, and smiles. Choke laughs. Yeah. Defend the land. Take care of the land take care of you. And your ancestors in the other realm, they're gonna thank you. Here we go. Hey, verse 1. Hey. Mess with us and get some manao. Mess with us and get a mala. Mess with us, you just might learn how to weave lao hala. Another day, another dollar, another bill spent to the broken system, but still you're persistent. Where's your resistance? Where's your in the AI? How many times I gotta tell you it ain't about the moolah or the money or the fame or the glitter or the glamour. Brother said you the nail or the hammer. Why you always throwing your trash in the ground? Yo, my fun, hey. If you knew better, would you do better? That's why they say Molokai mo better. Oh Hanas, I know you wanna. Woo! Yes, all Hanas. Kuakuai. Yeah, stand up. I know your feet sore. Shake them up, loosen them up. Yeah, best life. Let's go, Puli boy, happy birthday. My boy, he turned 7. Verse 2, check him out. Woo! Hey. Mess with us and get some manao. Mess with Maka, get some manao. Mess with Talini, get some manao. Straight to your pole. I told brother man, grab the oh. He told me oh no. I said let's go. They ring, I'm not calling you out, saying you ain't do a damn thing. And that's a damn shame. I wonder who to blame. Hawaiian Kingdom come, Hawaiian Kingdom came. The only place it never went was East. And I be spitting truth, then brothers taking aim. Boy, you better shoot now, cause I ain't never gonna change. Aloha, I not stay true to the name. What is that? No kind of fame. Hey, love you, Ohanas. Yes, here we go. We just warming up, Ohanas. We just warming up. Greatest time to be alive.
About Keauhou becoming a bungalow resort by Kamehameha Schools.
I think that it's completely unnecessary to build more condominiums when there are people here that are needing resources and that are lacking resources, and that the Kanaka Maoli people need to be able to have access to the ocean and to their livelihood and their culture. And if we are not allowing them and we're blocking that from happening, then that is not supporting and that is not practicing aloha and living in aloha. I completely deny this condo happening, and I support the Kanaka Maoli people and having their land and stewarding their land without blockages so that they can live sustainably and regeneratively.
Awesome. And can you say your name?
My name is Rosella de Alva Guerrero.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so how do you feel about Kamehameha Schools taking over Keauhou Bay as a bungalow resort?
Well, that seemed like a stab in the back to me, to tell you the truth, because Kamehameha is the kuleana is to protect and steward the lands. That's what we all do by owning by working their farms for them, which I have a farm. I thought it was just short-sighted, because with all the renovation and perpetuation of the heiaus down there in Keauhou, they turn around and do this to a sacred bay that is already over-toxic, over-stressed, with all the runoff and that, and this is just the death now for Keauhou Bay, basically. And plus, it's a community park for people to come together and really celebrate aloha. So I don't feel that this is in alignment with that spirit, to tell you the truth.
Thank you. Can you tell me your name?
Yeah, my name's John.
John, okay.
If you didn't sell out today, then we say thank you. Thank you. If you didn't give it all away for money, brother, thank you. Thank you. If you stood up for what was right, cool, even when it cost you, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we must stand and we must fight. They wanna take your land and life. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, yes. I am not for sale. Rises out of paradise, stand like upon our trail. The Haina not for sale, Keauhou is not for sale. Nakoa, Imua, may the right say will prevail. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mahamanu Iloa. Tell me what's real, who's real? I not for sale, no deal.
So the whole idea of these events is to cultivate real conversation and real community. Getting rid of all the walls that divide, religion, race, politics, all of that, because we need to be unified if we're going to have, in order for us to imua and to be effective in the work that we're doing. Or else we're just doing donuts in the parking lot, yeah? Yeah, that's what's happening, you guys. We're just burning rubber. And so I just want to say mahalo nui again for being here with us today. My name is Maka Gallinger, for those of you that don't know. And I am a South Kona Hamajang, born on this aina, raised on my ancestral lands, raising my 4 keiki on their ancestral lands. And if I didn't have that aina, I would not be here. And so I'm here to be a voice for my ancestors, a voice for my keiki, and a voice for my community. I love you all.
Perpetuating righteousness. Inkono et kadiaina, and your fellow man. The life of the land is perpetuating righteousness. Inkono et kadiaina, and your fellow man. The choice how to teach our youth how to stand up for truth, righteously, and how to be right with you. Uamo keo kaina ikapono. Uamo keo kaina ikapono. Uamo keo kaina ikapono.
So it took me coming home to really realize how special this place is, and learning my mo'uku'auhau taught me about what my place is and what I come from, who I am. And I couldn't be more grateful and feel more special. Growing up here, I always used to say, God, who are those people? They don't speak English properly. They fight all the time. They're always fighting in school. I went to Konoaina High School. I went to Konoaina my whole life. And yeah, now I understand. Now I get it. And I'm very, very proud to be a part of it, actually. So I would like to just touch on really quick on everybody has a place. Everybody can help. Everybody has a spot that they're, or a thing that they're really good at. A few years ago, I'll make this as quick as possible. A few years, 25 years about, 25 to 30 years maybe ago. I was invited by a friend of mine, Desiree Cruz, to go to London just for fun. She had a friend who was the Sheikh of Kuwait, and he invited her and a few friends, so she invited me and I went. I was living in New York City. While we were in London, she was talking to her kumu from college and said, you know, I'm missing the final exam. Is there anything I can do to pass? I really need to pass this class. Can I do anything? And her kumu was Antipua Kanakaole. And she said, yes, you're in London. So this is what you need to do. You need to go to the Museum of Natural History and demand our Evie back. So that's what you can do to pass this class. And so she said, demand me? Who am I? Are you Hawaiian? Yes. Well, then you have all the authority. Go get it. So she was like, oh, okay, I'll try. Okay. So she came to me and she said, hey, Priscilla, we got to do this one thing. Before we go home, we got to go to the Museum of Natural History here, and we got to go get all the Eevee back. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Sure. What the hell? So so she made an appointment with the curator of the museum and said we were students and we were writing ghost stories, Hawaiian ghost stories, and we needed to come and do some research, wondering if they had any Hawaiian remains there or a collection. So he said yes, they did, and we went. On the way there, she said, I'm really nervous, man. We could really screw this up, you know, we really could. And I said, is the curator a guy? She said, yeah, we were in our early 20s, so. Was the curator a guy? I said, yes. She said, yes. I said, no problem. We're gonna get everything we need, okay? So what we actually needed was the names of who they were, our kupuna, and where they were stolen from. So they wouldn't give the Hawaiians that information and said, sure, you can come back and get all of them, but you got to tell us who they are and where we got them from. So how are we supposed to know that? They were straight up grave robbed, okay? So we went in and asked him if he had any information on who these people were, because we wanted to be as true as possible with our stories. And he said, come right this way. Took us to the card catalog, and that was back when they were on cards. Pulled out this long drawer, put it on the table, and gave it to us. He said, here you go. And we were like, thank you. So we hand copied every single one of those cards, and 25 years later, those Eevee kupuna were brought home. 175 Eevee kupuna were brought home, and we helped to put them back to as close to where they were found, where they were taken. And you know, who were we? We were in our early 20s, just yip-yahooing all over the world. What did we know? When we came back, this was about maybe 6 years ago, I got a phone call from her, and she said, Priscilla, meet me in Waimea tonight. We're gonna finish what we started 25 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, what? What did we get? Wasn't me. And so she said, just meet me there 6 o'clock. So I did. And that ended up being a night that changed my life. And we went, and with a few kupuna and kahuna, we went in and reburied these bones that came from Waimea. My mother is from Waimea. My grandfather worked for Parker Ranch. He was a surveyor. So I come to find out that my grandfather and his boss were the ones that opened up the gates to let them in to come and take the Eevee in the first place. And when I learned this that night, I just started crying, because I just realized that I was just a tool, number one, and this story that I'm telling you was written long before I came, and I just happened to be the one that was trying to make right from what my line did that wasn't sopono. And so we all have a role to play in helping with Keauhou, with the lahui, with all of it. So it's just finding your niche, finding your place. And if your heart is open and you're willing, you will find your place. And you might say, I don't have anything to offer though. What can I do? I can't really do much. Well, you can do a lot, because as you can see for me, like who am I? Nobody. And to play such an integral role in bringing home Eevee kupuna and having my eyes opened by them is priceless. And it just showed me that everybody has something to offer. Everybody has a place. Mahalo.
That was beautiful. Can you guys repeat after me? Kulana. Kulana. That's right. You all have a role, and that's why you're here. Where is my place in all of this? Well, you got to search your hearts. Keep showing up. Keep being willing to serve. And you'll know. We welcome you with our Hawaiian state motto, Uamau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono. The life of the land is perpetuated, it continues, it thrives in righteousness and being pono, not self-righteousness. And so that's why we're here today. How can we be pono? We want to be pono, right? Yeah, we want to be pono. And so mahalo nui again to Auntie Stephanie Lindsay for opening up our blessing today. And you know, something that she shared about our original culture and how we experienced that time of ohana and peace. And so truly, it was a time where they're living in lokahi. And so can you guys say lokahi? Lokahi. Yes, lokahi means unity, balance, harmony. How can we have those things? Unity with what? Balance with what? So, number one, repeat after me, ohana. Aloha keakua. Aloha keakua. That's right, that's a love for our Creator. Number two, aloha aina. Aloha aina. That's a love and respect for our aina, recognizing that we are aina too. Number three, aloha kekahi I kekahi. Aloha kekahi I kekahi. A love for one another. And so truly we can only have lokahi when those three things are in balance. And so, where does the huli or the revolution begin? Because we all recognize the need for change in the world around us. And we all like huli the system, yeah? But you know what? The huli starts in the aina of our hearts. Because what we see happening in the world around us is an overflow and a reflection of this aina. Yeah. And so we are dealing with folks that are sold out to money. That are greedy. They just never have enough. And so we're only accountable for our part. And no worry, your part is going to keep you busy for the rest of your life. So don't worry about the other guy, right? How can I be pono? That's what we're here to talk about. Each and every one of us has a kulana, has a place, has a role. And it's all important, right? It's not about who's better or who's at the top or, you know, it's not about rank. It's a role. And in order for us to imua, we all have to take our places. How are you serving this aina? Or are we just here to take? How are we serving this aina? How are we serving our community, our lahui? And so this is where the huli begins. Before we can huli or change anything out here, we really do need to start at home, in our home lives, right here. And so there's a lot of corrections that need to be made. And you know what? I have opportunity every day. And so this isn't about pointing fingers. This is about judging and correcting ourselves so that we can be pono. Because we want to be pono. Aye? Aye. And so with that, we say mahalo. Just to give you folks a little update on why we're here on this aina, which we are so grateful. It's been provided for us and it's meant for us to be here today. Big up to Imi and Honu. Love this ohana for their stewardship. And they're doing their kulana. They're filling their role. And they have been a light for this community. So just to let you folks know, every Friday right here, 11 to 3, they are doing a trade market. No money. So that's the first thing. When we ask people, how can you contribute? They're like, oh, no more money. Say, brother, no worries, me too, I no more money. That's the first place we go, right? But it's like we all have something to contribute. To build our community, we gotta have conversation. And that's why we're here today. So, mahalo nui again to the ohana here for having us. The original plan was to meet at Keauhou Bay, as we did last month, March 1st. We had our first event there for Malama Keauhou. And for those of you that don't know, there's a lot of changes happening. And KS, Kamehameha Schools, okay, so Princess Pauahi put all her money and all her lands into a trust for the Hawaiian people. What she wanted was a sacred trust What she has now is a broken trust. All right? We got people in leadership making decisions for all that are not pono, that are not even pono with what her vision was. And so meeting on that aina is very powerful because you're there, you're looking at it, you're on it, you know. Wow. And to hear the mo'olelo and the stories and the ohana that have gathered there for generations and continue to. And it's already a busy, busy place. And so Kamehameha Schools has been working on a plan development for a number of years. And they're ready to start rolling it out. And they're meeting some opposition.
Shout out Uncle Pat for holding on the sound system. Woo! Koa to the front line, ready to chant down the serpent to the sunrise. Wahine Koa to the front line, backbone for the home, stacking stones to the end of time. Wahine Koa stay on the front line. Malama na keiki na ai and na pukuvai, making sure the kane don't stray. We see the signs. Unified Allah who birthed the lines. Always felt the truth, never always had the proof. Just knew, gotta listen to Tutu. 1K, the truth will rise. I can't wait to see the look in her eyes. Cause she told me from the beginning, she said, baby, it's the kingdom. Always remember where the heck it is you came from. Working out the hale, ohana is the reason. Home steady hustling, Wahine Koa season. 1843, got our nationality. Our kupuna knew exactly what would come to be. Mo'iali'i set it all in stone until Kapo'e Haole illegally overthrown. Just know they were smart. That was just the start. 180-year-old plan set to take this thing again. We hold it down, pa'a for the crown. The next generation's 180 turn around. Wahine Koa to the front line, ready to chant down the serpent to the sunrise. Wahine Koa to the front line, backbone for the home, stacking stones till the end of time. Mana Wahine ain't got shit on Wahine Koa. We work the aina, feed a kua, going in for more. Sure, you may think that you don't have to paddle, but don't think I'ma stand by you when we go into battle. We don't compromise, for our people we will die. Never tell a lie, military occupied. We done been through too much shit. The system burning down, now you know who got the matches. Wahine Koa to the front line, ready to chant down the serpent to the sunrise. Wahine Koa to the front line, backbone for the home, stacking stones to the end of time. Zero waste crates in my boots and I go straight to the aina, sweating that stream will flow. Making time for kupuna just to let them know we're here to stay forever, planted so we can grow. We heal, we teach, we reach, we preach for the hand on the land, steady sowing that native seed. To all my goddesses, this is for my queens. You know who you are, you don't beg to be seen. You got that native blood running through your veins. They ask who you are, you don't tell them what's your name. Moku Ao How, so strong you could get slain. This is the resurgence, Wahine Koa strain. Love you guys. Shout out. Aina made music. One more.
Brother Nolan Kahulamu share a little bit, and his ohana, you know, they're in that bay every day, paddling, enjoying that aina. Sister Laura, his wife, is a direct lineal descendant from there, and we'll hear from the voice of the people. And so we have ownership mindset and we have a stewardship mindset. Right now with the system in place, we have this ownership mindset where we use terms like me, mine, I. Stewardship, we use terms like us, we, ours. It's a kako thing. We need to get back to stewardship and recognize that the land does not belong to us. We belong to the land. So how are you serving the aina? Wow. Getting back to this mindset of stewardship. And that's why we're all here today. You folks want to know, hey, I want to be pono. How can I help? How can I serve? And so mahalo nui loa. With that, I welcome my brother Nolan Kahulamu.
Thank you for showing support. Like Maka said, Bishop, they called me on Wednesday, and he introduced himself, and he said he was new to Bishop, and he said he had to deny our permit because we're holding a protest on their property. And I told him that we weren't doing a protest, we were actually talking about the development that they're doing and spreading information of what they were planning on doing. And they were, when I sat with them in Kona, they were proud of their proposed development, and they thought it would be great for the community. Oh, he said, you guys will still be able to come down and enjoy the bay. We're not gonna cut access off for you guys. So if you guys are paddling, you guys can still go down there, you can still swim. And I said, well, you know, if you've ever been to the King Kamehameha Beach Hotel, we can go down there as well too. But I don't know how many people go down there on the weekend and take their families down there, trying to find a spot on the sand. It's not the same. It's a little different. And that's what's different about Keauhou. You can still go down there, and you can go get a net, you can get a fishing pole, you can get in a canoe, and you can enjoy the bay for what it was meant to be. And you feel at home. You don't feel awkward or uneasy. You can bring your family. And that's what we're trying to hold on to, is because that bay is very, very significant historically too, because as we know, the chiefs, the Li'i, spent a lot of time in that bay for a good reason, because it's a very significant, very powerful place. And by selling it out as Kamehameha claiming to be stewards of the land, that goes against everything that they stand for. So, and when I told them that, they really had no response. So that's why we're here today, and hopefully we can just drive that home. Maybe just maybe, despite the greed from above, there's people down below. Nobody joins Kamehameha School. I told the guy on the phone, I said, nobody joins Kamehameha Schools with evil intentions in their heart. They want to do something good for the community. And that's why we're here, because this is not good. And that's why we're here. And thank you.
So many amazing people that have come before us, our kupuna, our ancestors, and we pay them tribute. We say mahalo. But I want to tell you guys something. It's your turn now. We are the future ancestors.
At the back of the valley where nobody goes, way back where the waterfall flows, the back of the valley where nobody goes, it won't poly with the puka where we bury our bones. And those Evie are our kupuna, the Io and Pueo are our makua. God never intended anyone for ya. You already are free, don't let nobody fool ya. That's why we chant down all of our down pressers, and we oppose all of our oppressors. This one's for my Kiai protesters, walking in the footsteps of our ancestors. of the stairs where our queen was imprisoned with her book of prayers, and her only visitor was Mrs. Wilson. They stitched them olelo right into this quilting. I looked through the same window made of antique glass. The queen looked fast onto the harbor, the flag half mast, and she knew in her pu'uvai Kalakaua had passed, and she knew that her monarchy would not last. And that's why we chant down all of our down pressers, and we oppose all of our oppressors. This one's for my Kiai protesters, walking in the footsteps of our ancestors. She was brave, and she paved the way for all of the Wahine here today. Haunani Trask was brave, and she paved the way for all of the Kiai here today. Robert Wilcox was brave, and he paved the way for all of my revolutionaries. And Mr. George Helmshire was brave, and he paved the way. He gave his life for Kaho'olawe. And so we chant down all of our down pressers, and we oppose all of our oppressors. This one's for my Kiai protesters, walking in the footsteps of our ancestors. And we chanting down all of our down pressers, and we oppose any and all oppressors. This one's for my Kiai protesters, walking in the footsteps of our ancestors.
Our future ancestors.
Honor to be among you. I am Lamaku Mikahala Roy. I am Kahu of Ahu'enaheau, one of two. Ahu'enaheau is located right in the area that we just spoke of. Nolan said the truth. So I am so honored to be among you because it's about Malama Keauhou. It's about actually Malama'ina, all of the lands of Hawaii. And this is what's important to tell you. Raised and restored Ahu'enaheau by my father's direction, Kahu David Kilihele Mauna Roy Jr. He and men from Kona, but also from all islands, restored the Temple of the King. That temple is the kingdom's capital. It was the first kingdom's capital, and it is the capital of the renewed and restored kingdom of Hawaii, which is the news I have to tell you today. This is happening by the people, in the walk of the people, by their truth, by their courage to stand up. Stephanie Lindsay and her family are among those who blaze the trails, so that this is what we do together, each of us doing where we feel drawn to. Pono no ke la, this is very right. God makes us all to do our thing.
And the folks running this development project, and just get to hear their story, their side, see their map, see what their vision is. And at the end of it all, the bottom line was, drum roll, Well, yeah, aole, but the bottom line for them was we need more money.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Huh? All right, with that, lehua.
Yeah, the question was that they needed more money, but I said why? It's because we can't steward the land. And I was like, you got a choke kanaka that can steward the land, so that's not the reason. You do a hui and you get us all there working on the land. But yes, I'm a descendant from Keauhou. My tutu lady is Mary Ha'anyong. My aunt is Lily Kong. She had a lot to do with Keauhou and the Kona Historic Society with documenting all of our EVs, all of our historic places. That's why it's so important to know these maps, because we need to know where these places are that we need to protect and preserve. And secondly, we need to know so that we can stand when it's time to stand. So my whole thing when I was there at the table was that the build is just too huge. There's like 146 bungalow units, 146 parking stalls by the bungalow units, another 146 parking stalls by my tutu lady's house. I'm like, that's 300, more than 400 parking stalls, times it by families, so that's 2 to 4 people in a car in that small, not even a bay, it's an inlet, it's not a bay. It's just crazy. And then when we were there the other month, last month, I noticed with the manta and all of that influx of volume, there's like 6 boats out there just with the animals just constantly not letting anybody rest. So my whole thing is about resources and protecting the resources on our Aina and also our Vai. My kids are really engaged with Aina projects throughout the islands, with different organizations throughout the islands. We work in the lo'is to the ocean. My only concern is the impact. The water is not the same that we swam in 20 years ago. When I was a baby, I could see through the water. There was fish in the ocean. I could hook you up some fish. First drop. You go down there now, it's too much noise. There's too much people. You go try to fish on anything, you're not gonna catch nothing. Just so much runoff. So I told them, I was like, it doesn't make any sense. If you had this rezoned as a resort and you have to make a resort, why don't you rezone it back? Because if it was that easy to rezone it, then why don't we just wait for the new mayor and rezone it back? And I said the best thing would be to build a filter of all the runoff coming down from the Mauka. And the best way to do that is to put plants. We have so much native plants, we could buffer that place to filter it out so that the runoff no run down into the ocean. We have learned these systems. We have to learn from our ancestors. They've done it already. I don't know why we're trying to redo this wheel and just make it all about kala. But yeah, that's my whole thing, is that it's always about protecting the resources, because no guarantee those barges are gonna come in. Period. We felt the impact during the pandemic. All of it got shut down. We had no toilet paper, for goodness sakes. So when it came down to that, that's when I decided to get back to Aina and make sure that our hands are in the Aina so that we can stake claim to it. If there's no one working the land, then they'll just rezone it. So I just say, thank you for everyone coming today and being a part of this. I love you all for being here, and let's just stand.
Ohanas. Yeah, stoked to have all you Ohanas here. Hey. Kapuloha. I bring my highest self and let nobody else tell you nothing else. This an intervention, a spiritual connection. Did I mention mentally I'm in another dimension? Please pay attention to the signals and the signs. They got us choosing sides, but it's all in your mind. Turn to your friends and ask them, are you ready for the ride? Stop listening to them lies told by them other guys. Hey, Kalamai, hey, Kalamai. I was small kind colonized, never realized my education was all kind compromised, till I woke up and spoke up and became who I came. Now I'm walking around like I'm about to go Super Saiyan. I'm just saying someone had to put these fact checkers in check, cause they coming for my neck, so I gotta protect. Never mind neglect, man, this is the effect when you get a real man standing next to a queen. You know what I mean, hey, it's all about the unseen, hey. Love you, Johannes, Kalamai. Woo! Oh yeah, I missed the line. Kalamai. Kalamai. I was small time colonized, never realized my education was all kind compromised, till I woke up and spoke up and became who I came. Now I'm walking around like I'm about to go Super Saiyan. I'm just saying, can you hold yourself accountable when no one else can? That's a true definition of being a man. I ain't never going to Neverland. I don't know who's Peter Pan. That's the stuff that no can. Listen up, all my brothers, I know you who you are. It's alright, look yourself and tell me that you is that brother. That's all, Hunters. Love you guys, love you guys. Okay, that's it.
Aloha, I'm Laka. I'm Tiffany. So our question is how we feel about what's happening down Keauhou Bay, and if you already see our island is already taken over by many resorts, so to hear that they're going to take the last piece of Keauhou Bay where lots of locals come with their ohanas for generations and generations, we're talking descendants who are still allowing, and they're allowing them to be there. They're allowing us to be there. Now once these bungalows come, we're not going to be allowed to be there, and you've seen this today with Amaka's event in the 808 Ohana. The permitting got taken away 3 days before the event because she's speaking the truth. So this should not be done.
No, it's just the opposite of how we all feel in our hearts, of how we're wanting to see a movement of greater connection to the land. And this is the exact opposite. It's not in right relation with spirit, with the Hawaiian culture, with each other. And for each of us, it's further disconnecting us from the heart of the oneness.
Yeah, so we don't want to see this happen. And everybody should be here. This is Ohana. It doesn't matter if you live on that side of the island or on this island. This is all affecting all of us, and it's going to come to your aina soon. So get up.
Hey, aloha everybody. So my name is Michelle Melendez. Family's been on island for 30 years. And when I first heard that Kamehameha Schools wants to put 150 rooms, 43 buildings in Keauhou Bay, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked because one, King Kamehameha III was born. For them to consider even doing that just by that alone is, I actually have no words for it because it's so astoundingly horrific to me. The fact that that will totally destroy the bay, and for them to consider that just shows quite a few things. One, shows they have no concern and respect for the Hawaiian people and the sacredness of that land. And two, we actually talked with the vice president of Kamehameha Schools, and he said, well, they need to make money. Okay, Fairwind pays them. They get bank from the different places that are down there. I mean, how much money do you need? And who's the last person that audited Kamehameha Schools? When were they last audited so that the Hawaiian people can actually see how much money they're making and where it's going? They need more money? Like, I don't think so. Something's going on. Keauhou is not Waikiki. You can't just fit 400 to 500 more people in that small bay. It's disgusting, in my opinion. So mahalo so much for watching, and please go to, what is that? BigIslandSupport.com. Learn more, and let's save the ship.
Said it's time for our evolution, yeah. Brought a pat on my bass. judging others, brother, look in the mirror. You're fine, you're fine. A simple solution, yeah. Cause brother, it's time. Sister, it's time for our revolution, yeah. Your turn, Ohana, here we go. Said it's time for our revolution. Starting with your heart pollution, yeah. Love is the final solution. Said it's time for our revolution, yeah. Holy. This is your community. This is the Lahui. And so we need to know that we can depend and support one another. And that we're going to continue to gather. We're going to continue to grow stronger in number, in spirit. And this is where it starts. This is where the huli begins. And so mahalo nui loa. This is your ohana. We are the keiki of this aina. And we truly are one. We are the keiki of this aina. For we are one. Mau mau, we are one.